And now back to our regularly scheduled program.
An oddball group of characters converge on a Georgia forest where unknowingly a black bear is on a murderous rampage after hitting up a couple of 8-balls. Because we're talking movies, we're talking Cocaine Bear, starring Keri Russell, O'Shea Jackson Jr., and the late Ray Liotta. Written by Jimmy Warden and directed by Elizabeth Banks. Chris, if it's brown, lay down. If it's black, fight back.
A bear! It fucking did cocaine! A bear did cocaine! Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of How'd You Like That Movie? As Scott said, we're going to be talking about the recent release, Cocaine Bear. Scott, take it away.
All right, so, if you go back to our past episodes, like this was one of the movies that I was most looking forward to this year. Let me tell you, Chris, it did not disappoint. It was exactly what I thought it was going to be, a very high-end fucking B movie.
And you were very excited for this, and the film you watched met those expectations. This is what I'm hearing.
It's literally just a very high-end B movie. That's it, right? Like, I wasn't expecting the wheel to change. I didn't expect Oscar caliber performances. I expected fucking zany, corny, and a fucking bear on a rampage. High as shit. And that's what I got.
So the problem I have right off the bat with this is that, yes, I expected like a grindhouse B movie, but the best part about B movies is when they take themselves serious, and therefore it's ridiculous. This tried to like lean into the comedy, and in my opinion, it failed because they didn't take the fucking premise serious. And if they would have, it would have been funny because it's ridiculous because it's a B movie, right? Like when you think of like proper B movies, they think they're shooting like a fucking serious piece of fucking cinema, except the monster's ridiculous, the acting's awful, the script is shit, but they think they're shooting like the next fucking Oscar-winning fucking performance. And in my opinion, that's actually how you approach B movie to make it the best part of a B movie is the seriousness and the failure, not the like we're all in on the joke kind of comedy that they played out in this film.
So you're talking about like Grizzly.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Right? Just the bear in the woods. It's like Jaws in the woods.
Yeah, and you need like that, the actors that are like, they're looking down the barrel of the camera and they're giving their best like Oscar delivery lines of like, it's a bear, but on cocaine.
Hey you! You did this! You're the reason this is all happening! And it's a good thing he's not like you! Because you're a piece of crap person and a bad dad!
Who the fuck are you?
I'm Henry! And I am so fucking tired!
And shit like that. Like, we're like, come on! And that's what makes a B movie fantastic. This was like going into it, it's like, oh, we're making this schlocky film. And so they got kind of a schlocky film. Yeah, okay, keep going. So what did you like? What didn't you like about this film?
Okay, I'll go
like
with
it's the best movie ever. It's going to go to the Oscars. The Bear's
no,
going to get an Oscar.
It's not going to go.
Everybody's getting an Oscar.
No, it's not going to go to the Oscars. Unless for like maybe a wardrobe. Costume design, because I love those 80s outfits.
Oh, actually, hold on that. So I was noticing the set decoration in the little girls' room, and I'm looking at all the posters. Got like Billy Idol and Duran Duran and Depeche Mode and stuff. And then I'm looking at the kid. I'm like, yeah, you didn't listen. That kid does not look like the kid that was listening to those bands. Maybe Duran Duran, maybe Billy Idol, but most likely not. Like she was definitely more of what's his name? Oh fuck. He just passed away like 2 years ago. Super famous. He was part of a duo. George Michael's, but George Michael's band when he was in the 80s.
Wham.
Thank you. Wham. Thank you. Yeah, she looks like a kid who would have been listening to Wham, not Duran Duran and Depeche Mode. Anyway, keep going.
Okay. Anyways. Okay, here's the issue I had with this movie. And it's an issue I've had with stuff for a while now. is please stop using the term based on a true story. It should just be inspired by a story. Because once you actually go down and find out what really happened with the cocaine bear, it just like fucking disappoints you to no end that none of this
Because
actually
didn't the bear just
at
eat
all
the cocaine and die?
of an overdose. That's
That's all that happened.
That's all that happened. So the whole like, hey, not all the cocaine bags were found where they put that little tag on the end. I'm pretty sure they were, because they're saying how much they actually found there when they found the dead bear.
And I think the opening is true. The dude jumping out of the airplane and is shooting on opening, and so I think that is about where and the bear eating cocaine. I think that's where the truth stops, and then the rest is fiction, badly written fiction.
Yeah, 100%, right? Like, but hey, good on the IKEA guy for getting into a movie, right?
The IKEA guy.
You don't know the IKEA guy?
No, who's the IKEA guy?
It's the ambulance guy with the mustache.
Yeah, but why is he the IKEA guy?
His whole thing was he was viral on TikTok where he was like, an IKEA employee, and he would like, start making comments, and then he would turn around and just pretty much telling the customer to fuck off.
The customer is always right about what? How to piss me off? You think you're God because you went shopping?
That's how I know.
That's how he's the thing. Is he was shitty to IKEA customers?
Yes, on TikTok.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Hey,
I mean, it got him paid. Hey, it had a decent cast. Keri Russell, obviously the late great Ray Liotta, O'Shea Jackson Jr., Isaiah Whitlock Jr., who was awesome in The Wire, and I mean, obviously you've got Ice Cube's son, O'Shea Jackson Jr. I mean,
he's so good. You said him twice, right?
Yeah, that's right. I just felt like the dialogue was so flat. They've tried to do like kind of ABC storyline running, like you're following this group, you're following that group. And I get it, right? Like it's basically a 90 some odd minutes film. You want to have in that kind of 80, 90 minutes to even really, have it as a feature. So you can only have bear kill stuff for so long without some other storylines. I just wish they would have like done a better job with maybe just like a B storyline, trying to find the kid. The kid should have also gotten eaten. That's ridiculous. Like spoiler, by the way, if you haven't seen it, and you'll probably pick this up. And the bear kills pretty much everyone, but not a small child for some reason. I don't know if this was some mama bear shit. Maybe I missed that. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, that was the thing that I thought was not weird, but it contradicted itself twice. Because first they said the bear took it away, and then the kid said the bear chased her that way. Right? Yeah. So that was the whole thing I was thinking too, because then I'm like, when did she have time to like make all these like trails if the bear was chasing her? And if the bear was just carrying her, I'm like, why the fuck would it carry her to where her cubs are loaded with cocaine as well?
Yes. Why not just eat the child? Like, I would have just eaten the child. I think that would have been better. It would have been so that would have been cool. B storyline is the mom looking for the daughter, only to find her like ripped apart. Again, in a B movie, that's what they would have done. This was like some family friendly. It's not family friendly, but it was like a family friendly version of how this film should have been played out.
And then you're saying, so kid gets eaten. So you're saying then after, once they get to there, Keri Russell goes like full Rambo, like First Blood, like PSTD, and starts killing the cubs.
Oh, actually, okay, how about this? How about Keri Russell sees the dead child and then is like, it's payback time, and then takes a big snort of blow, and then they fucking like Godzilla versus King Kong fucking fight it out in the forest high on cocaine.
Oh, it's like Ripley and the Queen.
Yes, yes. That's fucking that's B movie-esque, right? Even use some like claymation fighting. Mothra.
From the streets, bitch.
Monster fights brought to you by cocaine.
Well, I guarantee you, like this movie has started a trend, because I think isn't it like meth alligator or something like that's coming
Yeah,
out?
and then they've got what is it, like Crackoon or something?
Yeah.
Hey, so our colleague and friend Michelle was over last night. We were talking about our project that you and I are all going to be working on. We actually have the Canadian version that we figured we should sit down and write. Meth Moose, brought to you from the great country of Canada.
I don't know, man. That seems like you're going into Kevin Smith territory.
Wow, he didn't do a meth moose, did he?
No, he's been developing moose jaws for years now, and it's literally like fucking in the Canadian wilderness, like Jaws, but a moose.
Yeah, but this is a moose, but on meth. Okay, it's not Jaws. It's a moose on meth. That's why it's meth moose.
Okay. So, but hold on, meth is you inject, right? You gotta like.
Oh man, you can smoke it, you can snort it, you can shoot it, you can do what you can put that fucking shit on your sandwich. You can do whatever you want. So meth moose.
You're just gonna say it constantly, meth moose, every time.
Listen, okay, so this thing had a $35 million budget. It did 90 at the box office. I mean, even if we double for marketing budget, which I don't know if they actually did, it still made some dollars. I guarantee you it's making money on streaming. I got mine for $6 on Amazon or whatever. I mean, decent payback. I mean, they definitely did a film that people decided to go to see. Doing 90 million at the box office for a film like this, I'm actually kind of impressed.
Yeah, no, like Elizabeth Banks did a good job, and I think the marketing itself did a good job. It made sure like you knew what you were watching. You're literally just going to fucking watch a bear on cocaine fuck people up, right? And that was it, right? Like
the trailer made me feel though like that it was going to be less of a comedy and more just like grindhouse, like graphic, and I mean, and the violence was great. Like, don't get me wrong, like the shit that got killed, got killed. Like, or when chick falls out of the fucking ambulance and her face gets dragged across. Like, I'm like, yeah, no, bravo. I appreciate that.
Yeah, like I went in, like even from the commercials or the trailers and everything, I went in thinking this was gonna be similar to like Evil Dead 2, where it's just like gruesome, bloody, but it's just joke after joke after joke, right? And literally that's what it was going in. So that's why I enjoyed it. Like my son watched it with me. His whole comment was, okay, let's go to the forest and find the rest of the cocaine dad. I'm like, okay.
Did you actually see this in theater or did you watch it at home?
No, I watched it at home. I rented it. I did want to go watch it in theaters, but the opportunity never presented itself when I was able to. But yeah, like at home it was fine. Like I thought, because I know you rented it too and you paid money. That's why I was like, maybe we should wait, because I already figured you were gonna complain that you paid $7 to fucking watch this when in 2 weeks, or technically when this gets released in a week, it's free on Prime.
What the fuck?
That's why I was trying to get ahead of it. I was like, I could already tell this was not going to be a movie you're going to be like, yay for.
Yeah, I found it a bit boring, to be honest. It takes a bit to, I don't know, it's probably at least like 20-25 minutes before, like, sure, there's the initial kill and dude out of the airplane, which is great, right? There's a bit of action, like right at the bit, but then it's kind of slow as it's trying to develop its first couple storylines. The kids going into the forest, the drug dealers trying to sort their shit out, and then like obviously the cop, and they're trying to set that up, but it felt very stilted. Like it took a long time to kind of get moving. Which again, I feel like some of it was just like exposition to create time. You know what I mean? Like they were just, hey, we need some minutes in this film, so let's just like randomly talk about shit. Like it's not even really character development, it's just burning time. You know what I mean?
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
Oh, it was like, does your dog play fetch?
Yeah. Yeah, like that, all that back and forth. Like you could have just been like, cop is going to the thing to find out why where the drugs are. Like you don't really need a bunch of backstory on these characters because they don't matter. Like the idea is they're just kind of props for the bear to attack or for other people to interact with and create conflict. Like they don't need a bunch of backstory. You're just putting the backstory in because you're trying to hit your 93-minute mark, right? So,
but now, this made, let's say, 30 million profit. How does Cocaine Bear 2 sound?
it sounds exactly like what a sequel would sound like. Cocaine Bear 2. Like, what is it? Cocaine Bear 2 Freebase? Freebase Bear?
Or they do the James Cameron route and it's just Cocaine Bears, plural.
Yes. Oh,
they're so cute.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Wait, why are they looking at us like that? Oh shit.
So I'm assuming who are you recommending? Who are the people that you are saying you must watch?
It's just anybody who wants to just fucking turn their brain off for 90 minutes. That's it. That's all this is something like just turn your brain off. It's not going to be the best, but you're going to see some shit.
So what's interesting about this? When I was like, so the cinematographer is John Gillestrin. He's the same DOP from Candyman, like the remake, or not the remake, I guess the sequel or the extension of the Candyman saga or whatever.
Prequel or whatever.
Yeah, well, it's not a prequel because it's like
no, it said requel. It's like a remake and sequel.
And that cinematography was beautiful. But this guy's like most of his stuff is kind of this like kooky offbeat stuff, which I'm surprised he got brought into Candyman and then did that like high art level cinematography, because the other big film I know him from is An American Pickle, which is the Seth Rogen one where
I've never even seen it.
He's a guy like a Jewish Eastern European Jewish guy that comes to New York and then falls in a vat of pickle juice and gets preserved, but then meets his like great grandson when he comes back out, and there's a hilarity ensues, and he plays himself, like he's playing both characters. So
yeah, I didn't watch it, but okay.
Yeah, it's actually a fun little film.
Yeah, you didn't sell me on it, but okay.
And I think this was Ray Liotta's last film, wasn't it?
No, he still got 2 more that gets released, I think, because he's in that. I think he's in that Apple TV show, the Crowded Room, the one with Tom Holland. I think he's in that still to get released, and I think he still has 1 more, if I'm not mistaken.
This film was dedicated to him because he has passed away. He definitely plays fucked up dude real well. He's basically playing his character from Goodfellas, but the version of at the end when he's fucking strung out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So in terms of his releases, sorry, I was wrong. He's in Fool's Paradise. That one's gotten released already. He's in one that's called April 29, 1992. That's in post-production, and one called Dangerous Waters. That's in post-production. So he still has 2 more to get released.
What did you think of did any of the actors stand out for you?
No, not really. It's just like everybody was paint by number, like their characters were all paint by numbers, right? Like there was no standout. Even like the cop that shows up at the end, you're like, well, we already knew where this was going kind of thing. So the reveal wasn't really
like a reveal. It's like, yeah, the only way you got there is because of exactly what's about to happen.
Yeah. And then when her partner is like, I trusted you, the department trusted you, like that's supposed to make her feel like guilty and shit.
I thought that actually I thought the bear CGI was pretty good. I mean, again, like it's not a Marvel movie. They're not dropping $100 million on CGI. I'm assuming most of that $35 million budget went to VFX though.
Yeah, that's what I think too, right? Because not to knock anybody, but there wasn't any like A-listers here, right? Most of them were cameos, right? Like Matthew Rice was just a cameo at the beginning, and then it didn't really seem like a lot of them were there for do you know how long it took to make this movie? Because this does seem like a month. Like it took a month to 2 months, and the rest was all post-production.
Well, I mean, that's probably exactly what happened. Like they went into the forest, they shot the thing for 30 days, and then it spent 6 to 9 months, maybe a year in post, right? So
Yeah.
it was kind of cool seeing. So the actor that plays Christopher in the beginning, it's Christopher Hivju, the Norwegian actor that's in Game of Thrones, and he plays
Mhm.
like one of the wildlings or whatever. Seeing him not as like a big tough dude, just being like, oh, look at us, the bear over there. Like it was awesome to see him play against type, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, even at the end, right? When he like his last kind of scene when he was just like the devil bear. And he's like trying to steal his own like cereal that the little
Back
kids
from the
eating.
kid. Yeah, man, I mean, I don't think there's a lot we can really say about this film. A bear came, it did cocaine, it did its thing.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
That's what
Yeah.
happens, you know what I mean? So is
But
there anything else you want to say, or
well, two things. Well, actually three things. One, I'm gonna ask you a question. Like, how bad do you think that bear's drip was? Right? Like that drip at the back of his throat. I think that's what it was going for. It liked it. It liked it a lot.
I guess, I mean, he was eating it so much, he was less snorting than eating it at points,
Oh,
right?
so it was like rubbing it on its gums.
Yeah, he was
Right?
getting
Like...
that gum action going on.
Okay, number two. I want to congratulate Manchester City on the treble. You know, Premier League, FA Cup, and Champions League. You know, maybe one day Byron can do that. I don't know.
We have done it, but thank you. We've had the treble before, so
When how are they in the FA Cup?
well, how would they have? No, they would have the Bundesliga. Like,
Yeah,
why would they have?
Bundesliga.
Why would they have the fucking FA Cup? They don't even play in the Premier League. Like,
That's what I'm saying. So what treble does Byron have?
they would
That
have
they
the German Cup,
Bundesliga
yeah, but there's the German Cup, the Bundesliga, which is the league, and they have the
and
Champions League.
champions.
Fuck,
Okay.
dude.
That's what I'm saying. Fuck you. Number three. Off topic. I'm gonna do another movie review here because we're never gonna do it on the podcast. I went and I watched that little.
So right now, Scott is doing what this movie did. He's just playing for time, and he's just so if you're still listening, all of this boredom is Scott's fault. Okay, go ahead, Scott. Keep going.
No, I went and I watched the Little Mermaid shit with my daughter.
Okay, so we're doing back to back here. We're doing the Little Mermaid as well.
Yeah. I'm just gonna do it quickly.
Okay, go.
I just want to say to Disney, you need to stop. That movie did not have to fucking be 2.5 hours.
How long was the original? Like 90 minutes?
Yes, it was 2.5 fucking hours, man. Like 2.5 hours. It literally took an hour into the movie for Ariel and Ursula to meet, in which they interact.
Did they still do Under the Sea though? And was
Yeah.
the crab guy?
Yeah, they did Under the Sea. They had Lin-Manuel. He did 2 original songs because Oscars. But yeah, I'm gonna say, like, in terms of the controversy about the casting and equality, like, that's not an issue. But
that was an issue. The film just fucking sucked and was too long.
No, it did, because at no point are you supposed to, like, if we're going 2.5 hours, again, 2.5 fucking hours. At no point did they even make it seem like Ariel and Eric even fucking liked each other. Right? And then they would drop all this fucking, how you're saying, like, verbiage, like subplot, innuendos. They would drop this shit. Like, you find out Ariel's mom died 15 years ago, right? By humans.
Fishermen?
By humans in a what's it called? Shipwreck.
Oh, okay.
You also find out Eric 15 years ago landed on this island. He's not even a true prince. He's just adopted by the royal family 15 years ago. So
Nice.
You would connect A to B, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's never fucking mentioned again. You're like, are you literally waiting for a fucking sequel to find out?
So,
it was like Eric's dad.
in theater, they call that Chekhov's gun, where if you put something in the plot, it needs to be there for a fucking reason. The idea behind Chekhov's gun is that you don't introduce a gun and then the gun never is used to do anything. You know what I mean? It's a pointless plot point.
Yeah, that's all it was, right? Like, I literally felt like a poor, unfortunate soul just fucking watching this movie. So that is my first real bad review I think I've ever done on this fucking podcast. So Disney, stop with Moana, stop with whatever live action remake you're gonna do, and just come up with original shit, because these are not working anymore. And that is our wrap for the day. Please like and subscribe to this podcast. Tell your friends. If you want to get a hold of us, reach us at the www.howdyoulikethatmovie.com.
How about the live action remake of Song of the South? Do you think that's coming down the line?
Isn't that the one with the crows that they found like too racist or something like that?
Like slavery wasn't a bad thing. Like it's you know, that's where the zippity doo dah zip that song comes. I was like, holy fuck, how could you guys ever make a movie like that?
If they were gonna do live action again, like, well, they are, but I wouldn't go Moana. Like, Moana's too new. Do something that was like, you know, like more edgier for Disney at the time, because it was more horror than anything. Fucking remake Mr. Boogedy. Remake fucking bed knocks and broomsticks, like fucking witches against fucking Nazis. Like, go hardcore into that where you couldn't back then.
Production by Rod Shaver, Vader Monkey Productions.